Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the very mysterious Mrs. Flood, who was previously introduced to us at the end of The Church on Ruby Road, which was the 2023 Christmas special of Doctor Who. So the very first full episode with Ncuti Gatwa, we were introduced to Ruby Sunday's neighbour, who seemed very nice at first, played by the lovely Anita Dobson, and all of a sudden there's a little cliffhanger at the end where she's like, have you ever seen a TARDIS before? And then for what seems like forever, fans have been speculating on who she could be. And then the Empire of Death airs, and there's another fourth wall break where, you know, she teases about the Doctor's life being filled with terror and how that's how it's going to end. You know, she is very knowledgeable. She seems to know what's going on. She knew that Sutek was going to arrive. She knew a lot of stuff. And she's been appearing in every episode of this season so far. And it's been teased heavily that this week's episode, the Interstellar Song Contest, is when we will finally find out who she is. And I'm going to be running through final predictions on who Mrs. Flood could be. I do feel like it's kind of known / largely accepted who she could be, so we'll also be covering that in the video as well. But I'm just going to throw in a few other candidates as well. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Right, so the first one on my list is the Valiard. Now, the Valiard, for those who don't know, the Valiard first appeared in Classic Who in the serial Trial of a Time Lord, where he was eventually revealed to be a future incarnation of the Doctor, who became evil between the 12th and 13th incarnations, and he was kind of just like a massive build-up of all the bad parts of the Doctor. And yeah, he just wanted to steal the Doctor's regeneration energy to live beyond his original regeneration cycle. Now, we actually haven't seen the Valiard return since this story. Obviously, the Valiard's gone on to appear in Big Finish audios and that sort of thing, which has been great. It's been really cool to see the character being brought back in that medium, and obviously comics as well. But in terms of the main TV show, we haven't seen the Valiard since then, which has actually been really sad. But the Valiard has been name-dropped a couple of times here and there and has been alluded to. However, Matt Smith, despite being the 11th Doctor, was actually the final incarnation of the Doctor, and we didn't see the Valiard pop up then at all. And we've seen Peter Capaldi since then, Jodie, David Tennant again, and we're now on Ncuti Gatwa. So maybe the Valiard has kind of been rewritten a little bit because, you know, the show is kind of infamous for tripping over its own continuity and rewriting villains and where they come from, that sort of thing. So maybe the Valiard could be modernised and brought back with a new regeneration, maybe. But I think out of this one, I think it's like the least likeliest, because I feel like the Valiard's time to come back has kind of passed as well. And unfortunately, the original actor, Michael Jason, is no longer with us. So I feel like the Valiard is a really cool concept, but I don't think should be utilised in this era whatsoever, because, yeah, I don't think the Valiard kind of fits the show anymore, to be honest, from my perspective. Anyway, now the next one. Now, I know people are going to be watching this video and be like, what, Jack, what are you even on about? Now, I'm just going to get this one out of the way. The Master. Now, the Master appearing again would just kind of be like, yeah, it's really overused at this point. But we do know that the Master has been teased to be appearing since the Giggle, because he was trapped in the Toymaker's tooth from the end of the Power of the Doctor, and he's been exiled there. However, at the end of the Giggle, the tooth was picked up by a mysterious woman. Now, I am kind of convinced that that woman is going to be Mrs. Flood, and I think as part of Mrs. Flood's grand scheme, I do think that the Master is going to be a part of that. Maybe we might not see him being utilised in the finale, but I think he might be like an insurance plan or something like that, like a backup plan, bringing the Master into it. But yeah, I think the Master could be a possibility, and we could potentially see a multi-Master story again, like where Mrs. Flood could be revealed to be the Master, and boom, we've got a past Master, maybe Sacha Dhawan's Master, or Michelle Gomez's Missy, or John Sims' Master appearing from the tooth, or maybe like a multiple versions of them, because, you know, the Toymaker could have trapped multiple variants of the Master, and they all break out, and it's just like a multi-Master story. I do feel like, I feel like that one is not very likely at all, but Mrs. Flood potentially being the Master, not impossible. Maybe Mrs. Flood creates a paradox to get her own freedom, maybe. That could potentially be something. I mean, Doctor Who has written villains like that before and characters like that, so it could potentially happen. But again, tying into the whole reality war thing, I don't know. It's not completely ruled out, but I don't think Mrs. Flood could really be the Master. Now this one, I'm going to say this straight away. The Rani. Now, the Rani has been a character that has been demanded to return for a very long time, played by the late Kate O'Mara in the classic series. And fans have wanted the Rani back for a very long time. Now, I believe there was some murmurings about like copyright issues and stuff for the reason why the Rani hasn't appeared in a lot of Big Finish audios either. But since then, Big Finish have done like a new incarnation of the Rani, and the Rani has even been name dropped last season. Now, the Rani, for those who don't know or haven't seen the classic Who episodes that she's been in, is like an evil Time Lord scientist. Unlike the Master, she's not driven by world domination. That much, anyway. Now, obviously, when it comes to modernising villains, like the goals could be twisted, maybe. And again, let's not forget, the Timeless Child story arc is still being explored in this era of the show, so it is still relying a lot on Gallifrey, which is a planet that's been destroyed again. So the Rani could still be out there, and maybe the Rani's motives have changed a little bit. So maybe it's something to do with, bringing back Gallifrey or honouring the Time Lord legacy or something like that. I don't know. Maybe, it's a little bit of a crazy concept, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the Rani ends up being Mrs. Flood. And obviously, there have been leaks as well suggesting that this could potentially happen. But again, with leaks, no matter how credible some might seem, just take it with a pinch of salt. But I think the Rani out of all these is the most credible. Then next, we've got the Black Guardian from the classic series again. So the Black Guardian again is another character that could easily fold into the pantheon of gods, just like the Toymaker and Sutek. They've kind of been retconned to appear in that pantheon, and the Black Guardian would make a lot of sense for a character to be brought back. Again, the Toymaker changed his face and Sutek changed his appearance, so the Black Guardian could probably do the same as well. But I don't know if that is going to potentially happen. So out of all of those, again, this one also had a merch leak as well, so it could happen. So who knows? But I am leaning more towards the Rani. Now, the final one that I've got is that this could literally just be a new god, like the God of Stories, or just another god that we haven't seen revealed in the Pantheon, or maybe the Trickster. Who knows? But Mrs. Flood could literally be anybody at this point, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Rani. So, let me know what you think of this video down in the comment section below. Who do you think Mrs. Flood is? And, are you excited for this week's Doctor Who episode? So, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, please click that like button and subscribe for more nerdy content, as we are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, which I'll love to reach by the end of the year. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.